now let's get to the grill for the daily dish. Randy is making grilled prosciutto wrapped halloumi. Oh yes, here's what you're going to need to follow along. You need halloumi, prosciutto, baby rocket greens, some cantaloupe, quinoa, lemon, and some olive oil. All right, Randy, it's the first grill of the season for you and for me. Well, actually, we've been grilling all winter long, but this is special because the sun's out now. Let's get started on this recipe.
As soon as the sun comes out, you know, the grills get polished up and you get them all ready and you got to get out there. And so this is a perfect dish for that first grill because it's light and it's refreshing, but it still hits with salt and it still feels like, you know, you're doing a bit of grilling, but you don't have to be doing too much. So we're going to start with halloumi cheese. Tracy, do you know what halloumi is? Have you ever used it? Have you ever try it?
I love it so much, and I don't know why I don't just go out and buy it. It's the sort of thing I would order in a restaurant, but I never just go out and buy it, and it's so good. For me, it's a texture thing and the taste.
It's a perfect combination. It's big salt and it gives you a cheese kind of feel, but it stands up to high heat as well. So you can grill it. We're just going to wrap it with a little bit of prosciutto like this. Now, if you can't find halloumi, you can use saganaki, which is a caflatore cheese. And if you can't find that, then you want to find something pretty firm, because if you go with a mozzarella, you're going to have to put it on the grill and be really, really quick. Lots of high heat. This one you can go a little bit slower. So I'm just going to toss that baby on the grill for now, and then we're going to get right back to it. So now let's talk about lettuces, Tracy. Baby rocket, which is another word for, do you know?
Arugula?
Ding, 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 ding. So if you can't spell arugula, rocket is the perfect thing to put in the recipe.
Same.
See, there you go. But I love it because it's peppery, it's got that spice to it, and then it's just so simple because you just kind of take it out, give it a quick wash, and away you go. Because the halloumi is so salty and the prosciutto's salty, what we're going to need to do is kind of give it something refreshing. So, you know, the cantaloupes are out in the market right now, and they're pretty affordable, and it's just like that vibrant kind of like reminds us, it brings us right into our summertime. So I just cleaned this down, but what you want to do is cut a thin ribbon. Now, not so thin that it just dissipates, but something that just kind of bends a little bit, just kind of gives it a flap like that. And then we're just going to break it up and kind of weave it through our salad just like this.
Oh, that's pretty.
And then what you want to do as well is kind of bury a little bit and kind of bring that arugula up to kind of just, you know, give it a little bit more of a two-dimension kind of feel to it. And if you cut it a little too thin, it's just not going to hold up too well. And if you cut it too thick, well, that's really not too much of a problem, but it's just going to look cooler if it's got that kind of ribbon stage to it like that. And then just kind of cover it up with a little bit of this arugula. I mean, that's looking pretty good right now.
Sure is.
It's also going to protect against the heat of this halloumi. So now, Trace, you ready for this? We're going to go back to our Napoleon here. And we're going to open this baby up, and oh, I got some extra on before, but check this out. This is crispy and golden. You can see the cheese is just starting to melt through the grill a little bit. And this is why the halloumi is perfect, because it's going to stand up a little bit. Now, oh, we'll get this back into play here in the camera, and you can see this. Let's get a good one here. Oh, it's kind of hot, but it's just like, look at this. Oh,
it's perfect.
Steamy. Oh. And the halloumi doesn't really give you that cheese pull, but it's that texture. You know that texture, right, Tracy?
I know that texture. And let me ask you this. How long did you actually leave it on there? Like, how long would we leave it on there at home?
Yeah, so 2 minutes per side. You're going to get a bit of a flare when the prosciutto melts, but you're kind of want to crisp up that prosciutto. And that's why the halloumi is the proper cheese, because it will stand up to that heat. And then we're just going to layer these into our salad and kind of hide them like this. And, you know, this is a perfect salad for people that want, you know, the one uncle's going to come in and he's going to take 3 or 4 pieces of halloumi, and somebody else is only going to have one because, you know, they're a little bit lighter and they'll take more of the rocket. But we're not quite done, so we piled it up and we got all these textures and flavors going on. But we're just going to hit it with 2 more things. So fresh lemon. This has been my vinaigrette. You know, I just go fresh lemon over everything, because grilled cheese and prosciutto with fresh lemon juice is just so vibrant. It just gives it a kick. And then we're going to hit it with a favorite olive oil, and that's just natural little dribble over everything like this. And you don't need all those dressings in your fridge. So now to finish it off, black pepper. You want to be very careful with the salt because the prosciutto is salty, so is the halloumi. So a nice finishing salt like a sea salt or maybe a kosher salt's good. And then Trace, this is the secret ingredient. I mean, it's very small. It doesn't have a lot of flavor, but it is 1000% texture. This is a puffed quinoa.
Oh.
Have you ever, Trace?
No, I've never tried that. So is it cooked quinoa? Is it what is it?
It's puffed, so you can buy it. It's kind of air dried at the store, and so it's kind of like a Rice Krispie made of quinoa, or you can just kind of air fry it yourself, or you can just quickly deep fry it. But it comes off as these tiny little bullets of crunchiness. So now you've got the soft cheese, the ribbon of the cantaloupe, the spiciness of the arugula, and then these little pop, 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 pop going on in your mouth. And check that out. You will be the hero of the barbecue.
Man, that is so cool. Listen, I know you're a chef and not a nutritionist, but is the quinoa still good for you if it's pop, pop, pop like Rice Krispies?
1000%. Eat it by the bowl.
Good. Amazing. Randy, thank you so much. That looks so good.